भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We had been seeing the few characteristics of Atma. So, Atma Lakshana, that was the topic of from which mantra? 18 to 25th mantra is the Atma Lakshanani, Lakshan of the Atma. Why the Lakshan of Atma is mentioned? Because our problems are because of not knowing the self. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, also, when Arjun had asked this question, that I am not understanding what is my dharma. Yesterday you heard that 7th shlok of 2nd chapter, Karpanya dosho patasvabhava. I am not able to decide what I should do, what I should not do, should I fight or not fight. So Bhagavan did not tell go and fight. Bhagavan should have given the answer, Arjun, go and fight or don't fight. Arjun asked this question, I am confused about my dharma. Because I think I should not be killing my elders. Bhagavan said, Atma is of the nature of non-dying. So you see, an ordinary person will see some kind of incoherence. Question is something else, answer is something else. Non-coherent answer. But Arjun's basic question was not that he was confused about the dharma. Arjun's basic problem was he didn't know that Atma is of the nature of non-birth and non-death. Arjun thought, I am the killer and these people are killed. He made Atma, yesterday you heard that mantra, where Atma was said it is not the doer and Atma is not the object of action also. Neither Atma is the object of action, neither the hanta chain manyate hantum, hatas chain manyate hatam, ubhau tauna vijanitaha nayam hantina hanyate. Which number is this? 19th. So, supposing somebody says, I am very sad. Basic nature is not of sadness. Basic problem is not that he is sad. Basic problem he thought that I can lose something. Basic problem was that he is thinking that I can lose something. There is a possibility of loss in me. This he is thinking. Any problem where sorrow is involved. In heat, cold, sorrow is not that much involved. I am feeling very hot. It doesn't mean I am very sad. I am feeling very hot. It doesn't mean I am it is not an emotional problem. Heat is not emotional problem. I am feeling hungry. Your hunger is not an emotional problem. I'm feeling hungry, so it's not a problem. You can eat the food and that problem is over. Emotional problem is there where the I is involved, where the self I am feeling I am lost something or I will gain something or I want what I wanted, I did not happen. Where I was attached to that thing is not with me, whom I don't like, he is with me now. So these kinds of problem is involved. I'm wanting to work, but I'm not able to work. I want to do a lot of work is pending. Therefore, I put on pendant. So, lot of work is pending. I'm not able to do and complete that work. Only list is there every day. Then that gives you tension. Or work you are doing, you are thinking, how will I do? Somebody is doing the work and he's tensed. He can do the work, but he's tense. Hope I'll complete within time. Hope I can complete within the allocated time. So wherever I is involved, the case becomes complex. Whereas I is not involved, case is not complex. Please be very, very careful. Don't please complicate your life. I know you, I'm related to it, is all fine. But moment I want anything specifically from you that you should do this for me, then I have involved I in you now. So regarding you, I have created a complicated thought. You have put yourself in a trouble now. As long now situation is not a situation. Situation has become a kind of what is it called? Tension. It is not a simple. Living with him is not a situation. Living with him is a tension. Because regarding you, you have now complicated thoughts. Because he does what I don't want. Why? Because you want something, therefore you have made it complicated relation. There are two stages of relation. One is simple relation, as is complicated relation. He is my father. Complication is there, or simplicity is there. Simplicity is there. But he should give me so much of land. Now you have brought your I into picture. Now there will be lot of thought about that. You are now putting your I at stake. Like yesterday we saw that Pandavas had put Draupadi on stake. Don't make a prestige issue out of it now. So we have put I on stake with. If he does not come, I am sad. If you come, I am very happy. If I am successful, I am very happy. If I fail, I am very sad. Everywhere I have put I. And the hero of this, rather villain of our life, not hero, but the villain of our life, this I operates through its twin wives, two wives. Their name is too much of attachment and too much of hatred. This will make your mind complicated. Complicated, you understand? No? No. About same topic, thought is coming, unending thought. And it is not stopping and giving me problem. You are not able to deal it objectively. Like somebody's TV is not okay. TV. Earlier we used to have TV repairing. I don't know now they have or not. TV repairing. Is there? TV repairing. So there was a person, vendor or somebody. What happened is that my TV is not working. He said, "Okay, bring the TV." So he used to take out the screen. There was a, what is it called? That picture tube. Picture tube. He said, "This is the picture tube." So he is dealing with it very coolly and calmly. You should solve the problem like that. Moment anything comes on your subject, then you will be finding yourself in difficulties. And Vedanta is trying to solve that subjective problem. There is no lesson in Vedanta how to cook, how to make, Baigan bharta. Baigan bharta, you cut in 4 parts, empty slightly, put some masala inside, and then take one string and tie it. Okay, then roast it slightly with oil or fry it, whatever is your choice is there. This is not the topic of Vedanta Upanishad. Okay, don't talk nonsense here. The attempt here is not a cooking class. Attempt here is to take you out from all sorrows. I hope you are understanding. Therefore, I am repeating it. Please do not study Vedanta objectively. You will become academician. You can give notes, you can write notes on, personalize these things. Like we personalize somebody's insult, somebody is insulted, we take it to the heart. There we don't objectify. What should be objectified, we subjectify. And what should be subjectified, we objectify. Everywhere Maya has come into play. Our life we should objectify. Don't take it very, very, very closely. I failed last year, I did not get job. Whom I loved, he ran away. Don't take it all these things. See yourself as one person who failed. Think how he can pass to it again, what treatment he needs. Don't become very close to your life. You will be in trouble again. We are too close to our life. So here, again I am repeating, Atma is consciousness. Don't say conscious. Atma is consciousness. Second is Atma is Nirvikar, non-modifying. Third is, let me club it, Atma is doer, non-doer and non-enjoyer. Or not subject, not object. Fourth is Atma is immanent, going in all pervading. And fifth point was Atma is known in the heart, in the buddhi. And sixth point was last, Atma is durvigayam. It is difficult to be known. There are 6 points we have milked out from certain mantras. Milked out? Yes. Because yesterday, you said, Yamraj was saying that Kastam madamadam devam madanyadgyatum arhati. Other than me, who can note? That means Atma is subtler. Okay. I have not chanted. No? Oh. So how many points? 6. 6 points. Okay. This is how you should try to club the whole matter. Now let us see. Let us chant today another mantra. We'll start from 20th mantra. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Which page everybody got? 129. You have the book. There you have. Book is there. Oh, you want to sit here? It's fine. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan Atmasya jantor nihito guhayam Tamakratuh pashyati vitashokah Dhatu prasadan mahimanamatmanah Asino duram rajati Shayano yati sarvatah Kastam madamadam devam Madanyo gyatum arhati Ashariram sharireshu Anavastheshvavasthitam Mahantam vibhumatmanam Matva dhiro na shochati Ashariragam sharireshu Anavastheshvavasthitam Mahantam vibhumatmanam Matva dhiro na shochati. One more point is mentioned here. What is the point mentioned here? In this verse, all pervasiveness of the Atma is pointed out. What was mentioned in the last word? Durvignyatvam, difficult to know. In this verse, all pervasiveness of the self. Achha. Ashariram sharireshu. Wonderful point is there, which is non-body in all bodies. So generally we think Atma is inside the body. A layman thinks Atma is inside the body. In the death, Atma goes out. I think yesterday I had touched upon that point also. What is the problem if you say Atma is inside the body? It's totally illogical point. First thing, if you say inside the body, then you are saying it is either of the four elements, not space. Prithvi is there, earth element, water element, fire element and air element. So inside is possible in these four elements. Inside is possible in this four element. You can say earth is, you can say liver is inside. You can say liver is inside. You can say water is inside. Heat is inside. Lot of heat I feel in my stomach. Heat, maybe acidity is there. These things you can say inside. But moment you say Atma is inside the body, that means you are reducing the Atma to either of four elements, because other than four elements nothing can be there. If you say Atma is container, this body is a container and Atma is content. So content is always smaller than the container. Content is always smaller than this container. Is it okay? Not okay. Supposing berry is in the bowl. Berry is in the bowl. So bowl will be always bigger than the berry. You can't keep the berry which is bigger in a bowl. You can't keep the watermelon in the bowl, uncut watermelon. The big watermelon you bought, where is it? In this katori. It won't be there, it will fall down. So if you say that Atma is inside the body, you are tantamount to saying that Atma is content. That means you are saying Atma is either of the four elements. What is the problem? Anybody will tell? If I say Atma is one of the four elements or mixture of four elements, Huh? Inert. All four elements are inert. Then you are saying that Atma is inert. Inert thing neither knows itself, neither knows others. And therefore Atma cannot be inside the body. And if it was there, then while operating, we can take out the Atma also. If operation was done and doctor said, "Bhai, iski Atma nikalo," so Atma, doctor said, "Okay, I nikal liya Atma iski." Then you can show it like that, "Ye nikli Atma, rakh lo." Kaam aayegi. Keep the Atma, you will use it somewhere. Huh? And then you can take Atma and put another Atma in somebody. Bole, hamare do Atma aa gayi. So, I have two Atmas now. Then you have to find out where the Atma is. It is in the heart, it is in the stomach, or rushing towards kidney. Where is the Atma? Kahin hogi. If you have localized it as a content, then Atma has to be somewhere. But no science can find out there is Atma in the brain or Atma is in the heart or stomach. Nothing is like that. So please try to get out of this wrong notion that Atma is inside the body. Acha, or suno. When the body is burnt, then that also will be burnt. Then Atma khatam hogi, there is no rebirth now. Topic is over now. So please don't have this kind of funny notion which the layman has, Atma is inside the body. Then what Vedanta has to say? I'm coming to it. Take it easy, I'm coming to it. And where is the Atma? Like coming to it. Why are you in a hurry? Why are you in a hurry? One more point. Achha, supposing something is inside, so to know that you have to know the content, you should also know container, then content will be known. Container and content will be known simultaneously. Without the container, content cannot be known. Got my point? In a bowl, kheer is kept, supposing. Why take berry? When let us take something good only. So kheer is kept in the bowl. Because kheer is always in some content. If you want to know the content, you always have to go through container. So knowledge of Atma will always demand knowledge of body. That means both the knowledges will be together. No, you cannot have knowledge of kheer alone. Knowledge of kheer should be along with the knowledge of container. No, I don't use any container. Then how will you carry kheer in my hand? So hand has become container. No? Hand has in the temple, especially South Indian temple I have seen, they distribute the prasad. Sometimes container is not there, so they take like this. There is no bowl, etc. So in the hand they take the kheer, etc. And eat like this also. On the hand, no spoon, nothing. Nothing is there. It becomes their habit. In the temples, I used to see in Singapore temples, they distribute, ऐसे ही ले लिया, हो गया अब सब. Kheer is now gone in another container. So only thing, it is a bigger container now. Earlier container was this big, now it is this big. Now it is like a pot. So this content, you cannot have experience of the content without the container. But in the deep sleep and the dream, you don't have experience of the body, but you have experience of the Atma. And therefore, Atma has nothing to do with it being inside the body. Got my point? Atma has not. I'm not saying Atma is not inside the body. I'm saying Atma is not only inside the body. Don't localize the Atma. He is a local artist. Don't localize the Atma. Now, next very important point. All points are important, yes. Some points are not loose. No. No point. Vedanta is a very, very serious matter. You cannot take anything lightly here. Let me go to the deep sleep. Don't go inside the deep sleep. I am just saying, let us go to inquire about the nature of deep sleep. Some are very happy. So, when deep sleep is there, in the deep sleep, Atma is there. How do we know? How do we know in the deep sleep Atma is there? If Atma was not there, I won't get up. I will go away forever. A person will die forever. So Atma was there because before sleeping, after sleeping, the same Atma I see. I am the same one who slept before that. Very good. Very, very good. What was your experience in the deep sleep? I did not know anything. Aham kimapi na janami. Second experience, I had relaxed, I had joy. In the deep sleep, Atma was there. Clear? Can I go ahead? In the deep sleep, Atma was there. In the deep sleep, experience of body was there. No. Very good. In the deep sleep, experience of space was there. Sure? You have experienced space in the deep sleep. Experience of time was there. Therefore, when you get up, you first see the time. You first see when you get up time. And nowadays they start seeing messages also. Earlier when they got up, they used to see Bhagwan's bhajan. Now first thing say messages, which messages are. And those who are Facebook, they see how many likes are there, which I said. Anyway. So, in the deep sleep, there is no experience of space. There is no experience of time. Not interesting. Very interesting portion, I tell you. And there is no experience of any shape. That means, one minute. That means Atma is there. It is independent of time, space, object. Because if it was dependent on time, space and object, then along with the Atma in the deep sleep, there would have been experience of time, space and object also. In the deep sleep, there is no experience of time, space and object, but there is experience of the Atma. That means Atma is independent of time, space and object. Body was not there. Action was there. Then who was there in the deep sleep? Only Atma. With shape or without shape? With shape or without shape? Without shape. Because shape is possible only in the space. You cannot imagine something having a shape without the experience of space. If there is experience of a shape, understand, no? What? Boundary line. If somebody says, what is the shape of that person? So you just draw his boundary line. And you say, what's the shape of India? You draw the boundary line. Map, what is it called? So shape experience is not possible without the experience of space. We are going step by step. But Atma is experienced without a shape. That means Atma is not in space. So difficult, Swamiji, to understand. No, what difficulty is there? Atma is most easy to understand. Only you need a little subtle mind. For that, you have to do some sadhana. It doesn't come, subtle mind doesn't come by eating almonds. So, somebody told me 20 almonds we should eat every day. I am not at all regular in eating almonds. Yesterday she had kept, I had not eaten. Today she did not give. You get? Achha. But I have not eaten that. Subtle mind comes by your jap, by your puja, by your meditation. It requires very, not sharp mind. Sharp mind is required in your academic study of school and college. Here you need a mind which can penetrate the name and form. Okay, 1 minute. So in the deep sleep, Atma is there, time is not there, space is not there. That Atma is there. I cannot imagine Swami is something without space. My problem, you understand? What? I can't imagine something without space. You have space, Vasana you have. It's a big problem of students. कैसा ऐसा हो सकता है कि आत्मा is there and not in space? I mean, कैसा है? So you mean that all the experiences should be with the space? Yes. Then why don't experience space in the deep sleep? If you are so fond of space, then take the space in the deep sleep. Forget about space in the deep sleep. You are not able to take the space in the dream also. No, dream space is there. No, the dream space is different than the waking space. The dream space is different than the waking space. Waking space has no entry in the dream space also, sir. By waking is showing the difference. One supposing it is raining in the waking space. Dream space is not raining, sunshine is there. So waking space is made out of one of the 5 elements. Dream space is not made out of the 5 elements. It is made out of thought. So the waking space has no entry in the dream also. Like your waking person doesn't enter the dream. Well, but I saw the person in the dream. No, that person in the dream is a thought person. This waking person is made out of 5 elements. So what is made out of 5 elements is not entry, it cannot enter in the dream. And what to say of deep sleep? In the deep sleep there is no entrance of the thought also. So that means Atma is there in the deep sleep, yes. And space is not there, no. Now one small point. Infinite in Vedanta is defined as something which is existing without the limitation of time and space. Again I am saying that infinite is defined as something which does not have limitation of time and space. Of course, object will not be there. So that is called Brahmatvam, Purnatvam, Desh Kal Pariched Samanya Abhavatvam Purnatvam. Where the limitation of time and space is not existing, that is called Purnatvam or completeness. But what you said in Sanskrit I want to write. Desh Kal Pariched Abhavatvam Purnatvam. Where the time space is not there, limitation of time space is not there, is called Purnatvam.